Okay, so question 1, part 2. This is a truth tree. When we're doing a truth tree, what we want to do is write out all the premises and then the negation of the conclusion, not the conclusion itself. Be sure to make sure that the conclusion is negated properly. Otherwise your tree will be messed up and it won't be good. The reason why we negate the conclusion is because we're testing to see if there's a way that the premises can be true and the conclusion false. If there is a way that that's the case, then the argument's invalid. But if there's no way that that's the case, i.e. all branches close, then we're good. Okay, so here's the tree is set up. Now what we want to do is start decomposing stuff. I'm going to start with the negation of the conclusion, line 6, because that makes the tree shorter. In general, we have branching rules and non-branching rules. If you can apply non-branching rules first, that will make your tree shorter. But of course, you can't apply rules. You have to apply the rules properly. So if you can apply non-branching rules properly before branching rules, that's generally a good idea. All right, so we'll start with that. Decomposing this gives us A and C and not B. Each of those are obtained by line 6 via the negated conditional rule. And line 7 gives us a bit more. We have A and C. We can check these off. A and C are obtained from line 7 via the conjunction rule. You don't have to write out all of the numbered premises or the numbered parts of the tree and where the rules, which rules are applied, but it's helpful if you do. It keeps things organized, and when we're trying to give you partial credit, it can help us see your thought process. All right, so that's the negation of the conclusion done. Sometimes one mistake people made is that they just kind of, when decomposing the conclusion, negation of the conclusion, they just skipped line 7 and just wrote not B, A, C. Don't do that. Like, even though we obtain A and C eventually, you need to write line 7 as part of the process. You need to apply the rules as they are. Don't come up with your own rules. Don't apply some kind of variant of the rules. Just apply the rules, do what the rules say, and don't do what the rules don't say. All right, so that's negation of conclusion. Now we can move on to other premises. I'll start with line 1, just because all the other stuff are branching rules, so we'll just see where it goes. All right, line 1, branches. So I'll move to a new page. Here we have, let me just double check. So on the left-hand side, we're going to have not A and not B and C. And on the right-hand side, we are going to have D. And each of these are obtained from line 1 via the conditional rule. All right, so I'm going to ignore this right-hand branch for a moment and just focus on the left-hand branch. Oh, and we should check off this just to show that it's done. All right, so this will also branch. It's a negation of a conjunction. So that means that this will be not A and not B. This will be not C. Each of these are obtained from line 11 via negated conjunction. Oops. And note that here we have not C, and here on line 10 we have C. And so when you have a letter and the negation of a letter on the same branch, that branch closes. So this is closed. We don't have to deal with it anymore. And then we'll keep branching here. This will get us not A and not B, each obtained from 12 via negated conjunction rule. And this part gets us B from 13 via the double negated rule. Oh, and we should check this off, check this off, check this off. This is another place people lost points. They skipped the double negation rule. Don't skip steps. This is included. Even though it might be obvious to you that B and not B are the same, simply writing something that's equivalent to what you should write isn't good enough in this case, because truth trees are supposed to be purely mechanical, supposed to follow the rules as they are. Don't write something that's equivalent-ish to the rules, just write the rules. Okay, so we have B here, and if we go back, we'll also see that we have not B here on line 8. So that means that this branch closes, and then on line 13 we have not A, and going back we also have A on line 9. So that means this closes as well. And that means this whole left-hand side is done. We can ignore it, and we should ignore it. Another place people got marked off is that sometimes they would close a branch and then keep writing stuff under that branch. If a branch closes, you leave it alone. Do not write stuff under a closed branch. Only write stuff under an open branch if something needs to be written there. And again, only close branches when there's a letter and the negation of the letter on the line. Sometimes people would close branches for reasons I cannot fathom. So just make sure to close branches when they should be closed. If you need a review on that, check out the textbook or earlier recordings. All right, so moving on to this part here. I'm going to decompose line 3 here. So line 3 is a conditional. We have D and E on one side, and I think F, was it? Yeah, F on the other. So this is not D and E here, and F over here. It's line 15 via line 3. I think line 3? Line 3. Line 3 arrow rule. And then I'll keep decomposing this. 16. We have it branches again. Have not D and not E. Each obtained from line 15 by the negated conjunction rule. All right, now, well, we see we have not D here and D here. So this closes. And then we have not E here. And going further back, we also have E way up here on line 2. And so that means that branch also closes. So that's done. We can move on. So F here, I'm just going to draw that down and move to a new page. All right, let's see what's left. So this is done. So we only have one more premise to decompose. That's this one here. So it'll branch, we'll have not A on one side, and then this whole thing on the other. It's line 4. So it'll branch, have not A on this side, and then F arrow not G or H. G or H on this side. And that was obtained from line 4. We can check that off. This is line 16. This is obtained from line 4 by the conditional rule. All right, and so first thing to notice is that we have not A here. And we have A here on line 9. I got A and not A. This closes. All right, that's good. We can move on to this. It branches again. We'll have not F and not G or H. We have, I think, F somewhere here. Yes, we have F here on line 15 and not F here on line 17. And they're on the same branch, so that closes again. These are obtained from 16 by an arrow roll. And then here, almost done. It branches one more time. We have not G and H obtained from line 17 by the disjunction rule. Let's see, not G, does that contradict anything on this branch? Yes, we have G on line 5. So that means this closes. And H, is there a not H on the branch? Not here, and nothing here. So we have H on an open branch, and that means it's open, or I'll put an arrow here to indicate that it's open. And yeah, so we decomposed everything, and we have an open branch, which means that the argument is not valid. So that's the tree for part 2. Because there are so many branching rules that need to be applied, if you didn't apply the rules kind of in an appropriate way, your tree would be very huge. And even if that was the case, as long as you applied the rules properly and got a tree very different than this, we still gave you credit. But it's very easy to mess up when your tree is big. So try to be judicious about how you branch. Make sure you decompose, or make sure you apply non-branching rules before you apply branching rules when you can. All right, so that's the tree. And I'm just going to keep going and do part C. Well, actually, no. I'll do part C in the next video.